All right, so we have another user-submitted replay that I've been asked to review. This replay was sent in by Claire. Thank you very much for sending this replay. I'm not sure what I'm going to title this video, so I'll title it after I'm done, based on the kind of how the game goes and what I decide to. But yeah, once it gets on YouTube, you'll understand what the game is centered around. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. 1-5 is red. On 3 reds. That kind of sucks for fascists because Hitler is in a pretty bad situation. This is a fascist win, by the way, I should mention, because I think Hitler even gets elected, actually, so I'm not entirely certain how that's going to happen, but we'll see as this plays out. Alright, 2 doesn't take him. It's currently a 1 blue deck. 3 also doesn't take him. It's now a 2 blue deck, so still -1 deck state. I think they... Okay, so 1 and 6 Yaw 4. I'm not entirely certain like what they're on about here. Sure, 6 is not overly liberal because they didn't give 2 Inv, even as a blue chancellor on choice. Like, the fact that it's 4 Inv doesn't make them liberal at all. It just kind of makes them there. Like, you know, they're basically a no info player. That's how you should treat them. But at the same time, I'm still not yawing 4 in that situation, so I'm not entirely certain why he yaws 4. So here he dishes a blue, and he's going to inv to liberal. Okay, so this is actually a good play, in my opinion, because we're at a -2 deck state, and you're tying a liberal to yourself. I've talked about this in one of my other replays that I reviewed. Here I think it's definitely a good idea, because it's going to be... Right now it's a -2, and it's unlikely that a liberal is going to get red, blue, blue. So it's probably going to be a 3 blue deck. And so even though you're going to die, you're not Hitler. And nobody's going to trust 2 ever again. So hopefully that will win you the game at some point. I'm sure it was pretty tough. Now, what do they decide to do next? I think they play 2. Yeah, they play 2-4 on this deck, and he plays... Oh, no, this conflicts. Okay, so... just unfortunate for the liberal in C2 that he picks a fascist. Luckily for liberals, this is actually a pretty good situation to be in. Even if you think that 2-6 is fascist, you're going to shoot 6 first, for 1. And on top of that, in this double dip, Claire is also fascist. So there's 2 fascists in it, whether 6 is fascist in both situations, which is helpful. And also it's a 3 blue deck, so 6 is always getting shot here. And the reason for that is because on a 3 blue deck, 3 blue deck is actually impossible. There should be at least 4 blues, and even a 4 blue deck is like 1 out of 10 decks. Out of 10 games, you should only get a 4 blue deck every like 1 out of those 10 games. And it's really nice to be fascist in those games, I might add. A 3 blue deck is impossible, because after you draw 15 cards, there's only 2 cards on the bottom. Even if they're both blue, you should have seen 4 of the 6 blues that are in the deck total. And what that means is that you know at least 1 person ditched, and that's if it's a 4 blue deck. So it's likely that 2 people ditched, and we saw in this game that that is indeed... I think this was a 4 blue deck. We have a red, red, red. We have 2 RRBs. He ditches. And then, yeah. So it's just a 4 blue deck. So at the end of the day, though, there's still a ditcher, and it's pretty much always the person who takes him. The only other person it really can be is one of the red blue presidents if they got red blue blue, but that's kind of unlikely. So they trust Benjamin with the SC. I'm not entirely certain why they trust Benjamin with the SC. If you're going to SC Benjamin didn't give 3 Inv, and 3 is pretty liberal, especially after being CNH. He gets 2 blues and forces, that's fine. So 3 is CNH. I would probably play this, to be honest with you. I'd probably yaw 3-4. Because once 7 forces 3, you know it's not fascist, and the worst case scenario is 7 is the fascist, not 3. Now, it's a 3 blue deck, right? So I get it. They don't want to trust a president on a 3 blue deck because they might have gotten red, blue, blue. But at the same time, who are you trusting in 4-2? Like, I would definitely think that 2-6 is fascist, and that would make 3 liberal. So, and that would be a correct read for the wrong reasons, but same, that's neither here nor there. They top deck a red. I think they give Benjamin another gun, and he shoots 6, which is perfectly reasonable. And here the game is going to end because 2 picks 5. And I think 5 is a reasonable pick here at the end of the day, because 5 is a person that didn't officially touch a 3 blue deck as a president. He was only a chancellor to 1. And it's just really fortunate for fascists that 5 happened to be Hitler in that situation. A lot of times the chancellors are lib-lib. But so anyway, you just gotta bear in mind, like, not everybody who was a president on the deck is going to be fascist, or even fash heavy. In this situation, the presidents were 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and only one of them was fascist. So it works out pretty well for the fascists, in my opinion. So anyway, again, any questions in the comment section, I'll answer them as I can. And I will see you guys later.